Is there not an entire section on this subject?
Yes, I may have changed my mind in the meantime on that, so it's unfair. I may have changed my mind about Mithra, for example.
Is your book for sale back?
Yes, it
Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so.
Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me.
Say it like you mean it. This is my Bible.
What up? I got something to say.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let Me Tell You, episode 50. I am your host, the Evangelical Norm. You can see we've got our, abortion counter up. So we will be talking about abortion today, among other things. So we'll jump right in. Excuse me. It's not coronavirus, I promise. And it's not going to come through the microphone, so don't worry. You might want to use a little hand sanitizer when pressing play, using your mouse, whatever. No, for real. But that is the first thing we're going to talk about today. The coronavirus has gone mad. We talked a little bit about it last week. Again, we have made it through SARS, swine flu, bird flu, now I'm drawing a blank, Ebola, all the things that were going to kill us. I mean, every year there's some new flu or something that's going to come around that is going to kill everybody. And we make it through, and it's not that big a deal, and the media hypes it up. And that is really exactly what is going on with the coronavirus right now. This is being majorly hyped up by the media. And, you know, the funny thing is we picture of toilet paper. And apparently it's all over the place because you see these memes coming from Australia and people are going nuts and they're buying all the toilet paper and hand sanitizer. I understand hand sanitizer. That makes sense. Go buy hand sanitizer. Wash your filthy hands. That is the key to avoiding the coronavirus. Good hygiene, and, you know, let's not get like face to face with people who are coughing and so on. But nobody seems to understand the whole thing about toilet paper. Everybody today was the joke at church all day long was, why are people buying toilet paper? I'm going to start selling toilet paper for 3 squares for $1. Here's the thing. First off, y'all, of all the people that I talked to today that were like, well, I don't understand why people are buying toilet paper. Some of y'all are lying. Because with the amount of toilet paper that has been ripped off the shelves in this city alone, Costco's out, Walmart's out, Safeway's out, or Smith's is out, you name it, they're out of toilet paper. Statistically, some of y'all went out and stocked up on toilet paper and hand sanitizer. But again, I don't know if it has to do with the coronavirus being named Corona and it's a Mexican beer and everybody's just assuming it's Montezuma's revenge is coming around. We need toilet paper. Whatever it is. People have lost their stinking minds going out buying toilet paper. And some of y'all did it. You listening, watching right now, you did it. And then you were embarrassed to admit it. So we stock up on toilet paper all the time. I live in a house with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to count them. I got to make sure. 5 women, 4 of which are potty trained. My 3-year-old and the adults. One of which is still in diapers, and so she doesn't count. She's not using toilet paper. We go through a lot of stinking toilet paper. 50% of my bathroom trips involve toilet paper. 100% of theirs do. So we always have toilet paper. I'm hoping we don't run out in the next week because some of y'all went out and cleared the shelves. But again, it's a lot of, no, don't hear me saying that coronavirus isn't serious. People are dying. Yes, it's not to the extreme that they're making it seem, though. It really isn't. I guarantee you right now, there are people who have the coronavirus COVID-19. COVID-19. Now, you're never going to get that out of your head because I read that on a meme today, that you can say COVID-19 to the tune of Come On Eileen. Now, every time you read it, you can thank me. COVID-19. There are people out there that have COVID-19 and they have not gone to the doctor. They haven't been tested and they're getting over it just as if they had the cold or whatever. This is not going to kill everybody it touches, you know. But I am watching for reports out of Georgia for police officers in comas and stuff like that, because you never know. It could be the beginning of The Walking Dead. This could be it. Rick Grimes might be in the hospital right now in the coma from his gunshot wound, and this is all the beginning. No. Stop it. Put down the toilet paper and slowly step away. Let the rest of us get some. It's not that big a deal. Really isn't. I am in no ways concerned to catastrophic levels about the coronavirus. It's just really not that big of a deal. And again, 2 weeks down the road from now, it's going to be the same faded memory as the bird flu, as the swine flu, H1N1, all the things that we had before. And it's just going to be, again, just a memory, just a faded memory. What was that corona something that we were so worried about? Yeah, it's like the 45th end of the world that I've survived, and I'm almost 46 years old. So there you have it. So coronavirus, get your hand sanitizer, wash your filthy hands. Don't concern yourself with 1,000 rolls of toilet paper. It's not that big a deal. This is a bigger deal. So Super Tuesday came about and happened, and just before that, everybody in the Democratic race apparently dropped out and supported Joe Biden, and he rocked Super Tuesday. Apparently, he just killed it. You know, did his thing in South Carolina and mashed it down in on Super Tuesday. So it's the Bernie Biden show for the rest of the time through. Apparently, I guess Tulsi Gabbard is still in the race, but I don't know. Was she ever in the race? Here's the deal. Real talk. I would not be able to pick Tulsi Gabbard out of a lineup. And I watched some of the debates. I don't know that I ever saw the ones that she was in. And that's the big deal, though, is they're talking about not letting Tulsi Gabbard be in the next debate if she's still in the race, which is weird, but okay then. I don't run the Democrat Party. I'm not my baby, not my chair, not my problem. They can do whatever they want to do, and I'm okay with it. If they want to make the rules, if they want to rig this thing to where Joe is their nominee, that's fine, because that's them. Let them do them. They can fight about it amongst themselves, but it's going to be some interesting debates coming up, because one, I think I said it last week. I'm pretty sure I said it last week. I am fairly convinced that Joe Biden is on the beginning of Alzheimer's or some sort of dementia, because dude has no idea where he is and just can't stop with and it's not even that they're gaffes anymore, because again, I love Steve Deace and their definition of a gaffe of when you open your mouth and unexpectedly the truth comes out. These are beyond gaffes. These are not him letting the truth come out. This is him not having the mental capacity to know where he is, to formulate sentences, to say the things that he intends to say. Joe's got some problems. Serious problems. I mean, what Joe is doing right now on almost every campaign stop goes far beyond Trump and Covfefe, right? And y'all lost your minds over that. But nobody seems to notice that Joe thinks he's running for U.S. Senate, doesn't know what state he's in, can't complete the first 3 lines of the you know the thing, right? And then you got MSNBC throwing up their little math debacle about Bloomberg and spending over $500 million, and he could give $1 million to every American. Get a calculator, people. That's the reason why, because y'all are so bad at math. I shouldn't say y'all, because I don't know any single Democrat that's watching or listening to this podcast, but hey, if y'all are so bad at math that this is why we are this close to having a Democratic nominee who's a socialist. Because somebody out there seems to think that 337 million goes into 500 million 1 million times. Try again, folks. Believe me, I'd be happy with my check for $1.50, but math is hard, right? So we're coming down to the wire. There's a convention coming up soon. One of these two rich, old, mentally or physically unstable men is going to be the Democratic nominee. And I guarantee you, and probably, well, I won't guarantee, because this is 2020 world of politics. Who knows what's going to happen? But I'm fairly confident that either, and we're just going to say it, Liz Warren is going to be somebody's vice presidential candidate. She's endeared herself to them enough, and that's who they want to have in the back seat when the person in the front seat runs the car into the wall and dies. Because here's something that this is not a threat. Do not say I threaten the future Democratic presidential nominee. I'm almost 100% sure that either one of these men. Now, I don't think either one of them is going to win the presidency by any means, but one or both of these men in the next 4 years, we are going to be having a funeral for, and it's going to be of natural causes. That one of these guys, either they're going to have a heart attack, something. One of these 2 men, mark the tape, March 9th, 2020, with by March 9th, 2024, one of these 2 men is going to be eulogized and put into the ground. And had either one of them become president, we would be looking at President Elizabeth Warren. But neither one of them is going to win. Neither one of these guys can beat Trump. I mean, neither one of them, it's not going to happen. As much as I do not like Trump, I really wish we could have had a valid primary candidate against him. But, alas, not going to happen. I got to wait for 2024 for me to have my own valid choice for president again. Hopefully, the Republicans put up somebody not 70 going on 7. Somebody with a slight little bit of maturity. Because that's my problem with this president and the whole grab him by the woohoo stuff, and you know. So, it's going to be an interesting next few months as we get into Democratic convention time, and then general election debates and so on. I can't say they won't be entertaining. If anything, they will absolutely be entertaining. If not, definitely won't be informative, but they'll be absolutely entertaining. So that's what we have to look forward to, and what we had to deal with this last week, and this is what is going to be the big thing we talk about. There was a huge pro-abortion rally outside the Supreme Court this week because the Supreme Court is hearing arguments dealing with a case in Louisiana, a law that was passed that stated that in Louisiana, abortion doctors, in order to perform abortions, have to have admitting rights to local hospitals. This is just basic common sense that if an abortionist is in the process of murdering a baby and that something goes wrong with both baby and mother, that mother be able to be admitted into a hospital for the care that this guy who's only trained to kill cannot give her. And if he doesn't have the ability to admit into hospitals, that care is prolonged. What's the word I'm looking for? Having a Joe Biden moment. Excuse me. It's delayed for her and could cost her her life. It is only common sense that if you're going to call this garbage healthcare, if you're going to try to call murder healthcare, then you would better make sure the healthcare facilities are up to the standards of what is actually healthcare. This law is, and again, I push back against incremental laws, but this isn't just an incremental law to put an end to abortion that is going to end some, but allow. This is just a good common sense law. If you're going to call yourself any kind of health clinic, you better live up to the codes that are required. I want JACO in there accrediting these places and shutting them down, which the majority of them, remember Kermit Gosnell, do not. You know, you've got Kermit Gosnell who had remains all over his own office, and then you have other doctors that are taking this almost slipped up, taking the stuff home with them. This is ridiculous. This is horrifying. The things that are happening in these abortion clinics. So this is a common sense law, but they pushed it up to the Supreme Court because it's inhibiting women's ability to access abortion. So there was this huge rally, and there was a whole bunch of just stupid stuff that was said during this rally. And so I took this, I stole this video from Steve Day, so I got to give credit to. But this was the only place I could find where all of these little clips were all together in one place, where I didn't have to try to myself go through and find 85 different YouTube videos and splice them together and so on. So thank you, Aaron McIntyre, for doing this work. Thanks, Steve Dace, for letting me steal this. I hope you guys don't throw up any kind of copyright claim against me and make me take my video down. I'm just a little guy in Ogden, Utah that has 76 subscribers. So be nice to the little guy. But I'm going to play a portion of this video for you. We're going to talk about bits and pieces. Then I'm going to talk about the entirety of one woman and her rant that you'll see a little bit of it in this video, and then we'll look at it in its entirety by itself and look at it. And I'm going to warn you now. Excuse me. Pardon me for the yawn. It happens every time, right? Language in the YouTube video that I'm going to show of this woman, no language in, it's all bleeped out in Aaron's video. So with that, let's take a look at some of the stuff that was said at the abortion rally this week in Washington, D.C. Go.
About my abortion or my periods or my experiences in childbirth, my episiotomies, my yeast infections.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the world. I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind and you will pay the price.
Okay. So I have to cut it out every time to just stop it. So, and I apologize for that. It should have been queued up. I don't know why it wasn't. Had to fix that. So, first off, Schumer literally threatening Supreme Court justices You've released a whirlwind. You're going to pay the price. Then, of course, he had to back that up because he couldn't stand by those statements. And it was just ridiculous in and of itself. So there was the first. And then here again, I thought men weren't supposed to have opinions on abortion. Why do you got dudes up there speaking at a pro-abortion rally when dudes aren't supposed to have opinions on abortion? Right? And I don't. Next.
Could focus on my career. My, are they obsessed with our bodies? And I have all of this.
Okay. This is goofing up. It didn't give me everything that I wanted. We're just going to stop. This last woman that was screaming there, we're going to listen to her scream some more. Rashida Tlaib was up there apparently telling people that we're all obsessed with her body and we all want to have sex with her. No. No one wants to have sex with you, Rashida. Nobody. Nobody. So we're going to jump into the YouTube thing here. We're going to talk. This is Busy Phillips, busy, whatever. Woman wants to murder her kid so she can have all of her great stuff. YouTube video, Busy Phillips, and rant.
Here I was, sitting in Los Angeles in my beautiful office of my own late-night talk show. Soon I would be driving my hybrid car to my beautiful fucking home.
Sorry about the language again. Get the tone. This is not a woman who is happy in any way. This is not empowerment. This is anger. This is demonic. This is just. This is exactly what we've said. I'm going to let her keep going, so we can really discuss this at the end.
To kiss my two beautiful and healthy children and my husband who
As opposed to her third dead child, which would not be healthy at all.
taken the year off to parent so I could focus on my career.
Yeah, that's a dude that doesn't deserve the title husband.
And I have all of this. All of it. Because I was allowed bodily autonomy at 15. I will not be shamed in...
All right, the rest of it is talking about periods and garbage and so on and whatnot. And this was the tone. You had one girl that was out there shouting about, where are my abortion providers at? Where is this? And this is literally the celebration of the murder of children. This is literally them. This woman is bragging about the fact that she sacrificed her child at the altar of career. She sacrificed her child at the altar of convenience. She sacrificed her child at the altar of what she wanted. Right? Nowhere does she say that she, and again, being the victim of rape does not mean we punish the product of the crime. We punish the criminal. We put the rapist to death, not the rapist child. This case is not in any way going to threaten Roe v. Wade. Unfortunately, it's not. This is not going to be a case that leads to the overthrow of Roe v. Wade. And the other thing is, again, I'm not 100% convinced that Gorsuch and Kavanaugh will be the justices that will give the vote to overturn Roe v. Wade. Remember, Roe v. Wade was decided by a 7-2, a 7 seven conservative members Supreme Court. It was 7-2, and they were conservatives that voted for, that decided Roe v. Wade. And again, here's the deal, and as we talk about this, there's a lot of things going on. Utah just passed a bill that would get rid of all abortion except for cases of rape and incest and blah, 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 which means it's not a pro-life bill. But the whole tenet of the bill, it passed. Governor Herbert isn't sure if he's going to sign it or not, likely won't. But this bill, it's stipulated in the bill, is it would not go into effect until Roe v. Wade is overturned. So essentially, it's a pointless bill. It is fundraising fodder for the Republican Party, who continue to tell us the lie that they are going to overturn or they are going to be pro-life when they are not. They are not doing anything pro-life. They are not doing anything to truly work towards the end of abortion, because if they did, they would lose that cash cow for fundraising. This is the dilemma. This is part of the reason why I'm no longer a Republican, and the reason why I will never vote for a Democrat. As long as abortion is part of their platform, I will not, because this is child murder. This is the murder of innocent children. As we look, the other law that Utah is so proud of that they passed is that they are now requiring abortion clinics to give the parents a decision on how the remains are disposed of, either cremated or buried, and they have to do this. This is not a pro-life bill. This is a bill that says it's okay to kill these kids and we just have to give them a proper disposition. No. This is not pro-life bill, Utah. This is not pro-life anything. And this is where we've got to come to the realization that we are being lied to by the Republicans and the Democrats. I mean, at least the Democrats are a little bit more honest about how they feel about abortion. The heartless, demonic display that happened this week at this pro-choice rally is horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. And again, every time I talk about abortion, I put this thing up here on the thing. In the United States today, 176 children will die. That statistically, since you loaded this video, 2,072 children have been murdered worldwide. Since you loaded this video, since it started worldwide today, 8,177. So far this year worldwide, 7 million children have already died. We are at 1,567,552,000 children have died since 1980. And how many have done this year due to rape and incest? 1,579. That is a less than 1% of the children that have been murdered in this country were due to rape or incest. So that means 99 point something percent of the babies that are being murdered in this country are done for majority reasons just convenience. Convenience. They're being offered at the sacrifice of convenience, at the sacrificed at the altar of convenience, sacrificed at the altar of career, sacrificed at the altar of education. Whatever you want to call it, whatever the reason, these babies are being murdered. And there needs to be a stop put to it. And I wish I had the explanation of how. I wish I had the solution. The solution is to overturn Roe, which is pointless anyway. The solution is to get some states to stand up to the federal government and say, we will ban abortion in our state and we don't care what you say. Just like Colorado and Washington and Arizona and California with their recreational marijuana, while it's still illegal federally, they are saying we will smoke it in our states and we don't care what you say. But no one's willing to stand up to the government and say we are going to save babies in this state and we don't care what you say. Governor Herbert, I'm looking at you, sir. You claim to be pro-life, act on it. Save the lives of babies in this state. And other than that, the only other way we're going to see lives changed and babies saved is by the preaching of the gospel, by people like us who are truly pro-life going out to the abortion mills and standing and begging those women not to murder their children, to tell them that we will adopt your baby, that we will help you with whatever it is we can help you with through your pregnancy. Just please don't murder your child. And if you've already murdered your child, turn to Jesus Christ and repent, because he can still forgive you for that sin. Otherwise, if you don't, you're going to find yourself in hell. And that is not what we want for you either. So if you can't get out to your abortion mill and stand out there and do it, pray for the people in your church that can. Pray that God will raise up people in the church you can, and pray for I hope you have a pro-life governor or legislature or something, that they would actually stand up for the things that they claim to represent you in and act on those things and make your state or your city a sanctuary city for babies. It's happened in other places. It is happening now. There are cities that are saying, we will be a sanctuary city for these children. Make it happen in your community. And as always, preach the gospel at all times. Use words. They're necessary. And until next time, Soli Deo Gloria.